Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. The world is changing very fast, and as the world changes, the geopolitical situation changes, the industrialization changes, and now we are Industry 4.0, about which I am going to write an article and it will be there in a couple of days. But anyway, the whole work scenario is changed. First came the pandemic, then the wars, then the floods, and drought in USA. Both things are there. And today we see the storm coming, so the whole system is changing. And in the change system, the competitiveness changes. The objectives of work change. And all that necessitates that you need to have different skills, the core skills. There was an emphasis on STEM, science, technology, mathematics. It's still there, but the core skills such as critical thinking, analysis, problem solving are consistently going to be the top of reskilling and upskilling priorities for all the educators and for all the businesses. And I must say that the World Economic Forum has done a tremendous good job in identifying the skills that are required. And those skills are extremely important, even as I said earlier, much more important than the STEM capabilities. Creativity, problem solving are just two of them. And it's not far off. By the year 2025, and we are ending 2022, as a matter of fact, already the major portion of 22 is over. Just 4 months more are there. So, there are 10 skills that have been identified, and the prospective clients have got to ensure that they are capable of those skills, because those are the skills that would be needed every day. And which are those top skills which we need in 2025? The most important is analytical thinking and innovation. You have got to be innovative. You have got to devise new ways of working, new ways of thought, new ways of expression, everything. Innovation must be the word which should be at the top of your mind. And then analytical thinking. You cannot accept things as they are. Analysis, postmortem, pre-postmortem, everything. The dissection has to be done of a problem. All the fine nuances have to be seen, and then the work has to be done. So your thinking has got to be very scientific. After all, what is analysis? Analysis is scientific attitude. Why, where, how, and what would be the result? So this capability of analytical thinking, coupled with innovation, is going to be very useful to you if you are looking for better work, new job, or even setting up your own business. If you are not innovative, you might be a part of the rat race, but you would never be a leader. You might have a niche market, but you won't have that brand recognition and that return if you're a worker, if you're an employee, then imagine if you're innovative how much you will be applauded and rewarded by your parent company. So that's the first one. But then that's not enough. Active learning and learning strategies. You have got to have the degree of resilience in learning. Learn everything new. And this is not something which is happening now, as a matter of fact. Learning new things has always been a part of the human progress. Mr. Churchill, the famous war Prime Minister of England, the moment he retired, what did he do? He didn't stop working. He started painting and became an excellent painter. And painter doesn't mean that you have to be a professional painter, but if you can express yourself creatively, and if that gives you happiness, then that's what is required. So you have got to be an active learner right way, and the learning strategies have got to change. The old strategies of going to a school are not sufficient. The life is to be your school. Now, I was at one time advising the prime ministers and the businesses. I was running businesses. I was CEO. And when I saw that that is over, I'm going to be 80 couple of months, I didn't sit on my laurels. I could have. But my job of giving talks and writing articles continue. And I'm with you every day in the morning. So the strategies have got to change. My strategy was first writing articles, then videos. So you've got to adjust them, but keep on shifting. Do not forget that standing water starts stagnating, give foul smell. So active learning and learning strategies. Then the third one is extremely important. As a matter of fact, all these 10 skills which you will be requiring in 2025 are extremely pertinent, relevant, not only to this era but for all ages. So the third is complex problem solving. Simple issues anybody can solve. But your capability lies, and here is intimately connected with analytical thinking and innovation. You can solve complex problems only if you have got capability to think analytically and you have got an innovative approach. Run-of-the-mill strategies, run-of-the-mill work, routine work, anybody can do. That's what I'm saying, it's a rat race. But if you want to make your mark, then you should have the capability of solving the complex problems, the problems which confuse people. And you would often find that the complex problems are very easy to solve. You've got to just understand the problem, analyze it, find the key to solve it, and voila, the solution is there. Then critical thinking and analysis. This is combined with analytical thinking and critical thinking. They are practically the alter ego. Now, analytical thinking is doing the analysis. Critical is being very, very minutely dissected. This is the dissection part. Doctors, when they are being educated, in the second year they learn the dissection, bodies. So to find out what nerves, what arteries, what inner organs are, how they are functioning. Same is about the problem. So critical thinking, again, why, where, how, what shall happen, what are the alternatives, are very important. Then creatively originality and initiative. Now here it's not innovation. Originality is not innovation. Originality is creativity. Think of the new ideas. Think out of the box. Now, normally I always say that thinking in box is good. Thinking out of the box is better. But I myself personally have developed a habit of helicopter thinking. Not out of the box. My vision is helicopter. I rise above objectivity. With objectivity I have a wider horizon. And that helicopter view of things enables me to come up with solutions which people cannot imagine. And I'll give you an example. Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi came to me and asked Dr. Lamba, tell me one thing, just one thing, which shall make my work stand out. This was within 2 weeks of his taking oath as the Prime Minister. I said, look here, Rajiv, it's not very difficult, but let me think. Now I started thinking, ruminating what was happening all over the world, and I found that the green energy was the answer. And no government anywhere in the world had a full-fledged ministry relating to non-conventional energy sources. So next day I called him up. I said, look here, are we meeting today? He said, welcome. So I said, look here, why don't you set up a ministry of non-conventional energy sources? He did it. And India became the only one having a ministry of non-conventional energy sources, with the result that today it's a leader in wind energy, leader in solar energy. Hydro energy already was working very well. And now it's coming up in hydrogen energy. So that one action was possible because of my analytical thinking and my view to see the projection that ultimately the government would have to ensure that the infrastructure needs this sort of a thing. So creatively, I thought, I dissected the situation, I projected my vision 30 years hence, 40 years hence, and then I came up with this idea. So it was not something out of the vacuum. No, it was creativity, it was originality, it was innovation. Then the next is leadership and social influence. Nowadays, with the social media being very strong, you have got to work so that anything you do has an impact on society. And that also requires the quality of leadership. Leadership is not just being the Prime Minister or the Minister. No. As a matter of fact, the lowest employee in an organization can have the quality of a leadership, and he can show the way. So have that quality that you can present ideas which just bamboozle others, and they say, wow, you are real good. And then you have to impact others. And next one, technology use, monitoring and control. Most important is identification of technology. We started in the UN University in Tokyo a course, technology forecasting, evaluation and assessment. So we try to, in that course, teach students how to forecast the technologies, the need, and what technology should be there. And can you believe it, the Sony and another big company, Sanyo, they started sending their employees there, and they were paying them and absorbing them back. So technology was being identified, it was being forecast, then it was being assessed, and then it was being used. So technology use is there, then monitoring whether it's good or not, and the control of it. Technology run amok is like a rogue elephant, can be very harmful. Then technology design and programming. Now you have a technology, but that's in your brain, so you have to put it up in a design form, put it up on the blackboard, put it under my CAD/CAM program, and then program it accordingly so that it can be used. Make it usable. Then resilience, stress tolerance, and flexibility. Now this is very human. I said in the very beginning, resilience is the most important one. And you know how much stress is increasing in the world. So, and flexibility is associated with the resilience. So, if you have got stress tolerance, you not only relieve yourself, but the others in the team are also relieved. When they see you calm, poised, not worried, they think, well, this guy knows something. So, let's do like the resilience and flexibility. Change according to the time. And the last one, Reasoning, problem solving, and ideation. Reasoning is logical. Again, you have got to reason, you have got to advance the logic, solve the problem, innovation, out of the box thinking, and ideation. Most important is ideation. We have thoughts, but we cannot put them in the words. This is basically a command on your capability to put in words what you are thinking. So the types of skills are basically problem solving, self management, working with CPD, and technology use and development. So these type of the skills are now the skills that will be required, and not the other skills which are required. No, let me tell you, you cannot forget it. But then you have got to unlearn a lot. You have got to write on a clean slate. The things, for example, nobody learns the tables nowadays because everybody has got a calculator so why do it? So management skills are the new emerging skills. And naturally people who have skills of leadership and social influence are very vital. Now these 10 skills in these 4 major groups are going to be the much needed aspect of the future world of work. And believe me, if you are lacking in these skills, then you would still be there, but you'll be there as one of those people who have been, not who are, not who matter, not who can command attention. So learn these skills, use them, assert yourself, and have a golden path to progress. Thank you.